In our previous market update, we were discussing the markets coming down into a big magnitude cycle trough. The markets have continued approaching that cycle trough, and so in today's market update, we are going to take a look at what is happening at the moment. Starting with our analysis of the S&P 500, this is using the analysis that we have been referring to in recent market updates. We have, of course, an important 40-week cycle trough that formed over here in the third week of November. I discussed in the previous market update, and I would encourage you to go back and take a look at previous market updates because I try not to repeat myself too much in these videos, but we discussed the possibility that an 80-day cycle trough had formed over here in the third week of January. And of course, we are heading down now into the next 20-week cycle trough according to this analysis. I pointed out this floating circle for the 18-month cycle. This is using a shortened nominal model, and so that is rather a questionable circle and whiskers that we are seeing on that chart over there. Nevertheless, it is always useful to consider those floating circles because they often highlight times at which cycle troughs form in the market. And considering the fact that we are expecting a 20-week cycle trough to form at the moment, the time for this cycle trough is certainly upon us. Interestingly, if we measure the wavelength of this 80-day cycle that played out into the 21st of January, you will see there were 61 days. If we move forward from the 21st of January to 61 days, you will see that that is in fact today. And so, if that is indeed the 80-day cycle that we are tracking in this market, then today would be the exact repeat of the previous wave of that 80-day cycle. Now, of course, the principle of variation tells us that these cycle wavelengths are constantly varying, and so we might not get an exact 61-day cycle again, but certainly we should be standing by and ready for this 20-week cycle trough to form. The average length of the 20-week cycle discovered by Hurst over 50 years ago was 136 days, and that is a very useful number to bear in mind because although these cycle wavelengths do vary, and there has been some evidence that the cycles have been running shorter than the nominal length discovered by Hurst so long ago, these average wavelengths do keep coming back. In other words, the markets tend to return to their average wavelengths. And so an average wavelength of 136 days would have this cycle trough forming by about the 6th of April. And so within this range of time, we are expecting the 20-week cycle trough to form in the S&P 500 and in the other markets that we are tracking. If we zoom in and take a look at the 20-day FLD, which is a very useful FLD to gauge when cycle events are occurring, particularly in the time frame that I tend to discuss in these market update videos, you will see that since our previous market update video, which was recorded 2 weeks ago on this day over here, price has failed to get above this 20-day FLD. Of course, the high price on this day, on Tuesday the 10th of March, did poke up above the 20-day FLD. Median price might have just edged up above that 20-day FLD, but it certainly was not a clean cross above the FLD. It was more a matter of price finding resistance at the level of the FLD, which it did at this time over here. And again, price found resistance at the level of the FLD at this time over here. If I display the labeling of the interactions between price and the FLD, you can see that we had our F category interaction here as price crossed down below the 20-day FLD. And these instances where price found resistance at the level of the FLD are both labeled G and H category interactions. It is not unusual to find a double GH category pair of interactions in markets as they approach important cycle troughs. And so we have had a double GH category interaction. It is unusual to find a triple GH category interaction, and so we are not expecting price to find resistance again at the level of the FLD. The next interaction is likely to be the A category interaction, where price will cross above the 20-day FLD, having formed this 20-week cycle trough. It is not impossible to find a triple GH category pair of interactions, but our expectation is certainly for the next interaction to be the A category interaction as price bounces out of this 20-week cycle trough. And so all eyes are going to be on this 20-day cycle FLD as we approach the range of time in which this 20-week cycle trough is expected. A quick update on the Australian stock market. This is the ASX, and in our previous market update, I referred to this analysis as a means of finding commonality, which is one of the principles that Hurst defined, the principle of commonality that tells us that markets around the world tend to move with a great deal in common. And what that effectively means is that cycle troughs tend to occur at about the same time. And I pointed out that in the Australian market, the 20-week cycle trough was expected a couple of weeks after the expectation for that cycle trough to form in the S&P 500. And indeed, as you can see, we still have our nest of lows for the 20-week cycle trough in the Australian market, and price has, of course, continued coming down. I am displaying here the composite model line to show the bigger picture in terms of what is happening with the Australian market and other stock markets around the world, I should point out. And so, although we are expecting a 20-week cycle trough to form, both in this market and in other stock markets, the bounce out of this 20-week cycle trough is likely to be counter-trend because we are on the downward slope into this bigger 18-month cycle trough, which is expected later this year. Zooming in on the ASX, if we measure the distance up to this 80-day cycle trough, it is 77 days. I should point out that this 80-day cycle trough has been phased here in the first week of February. However, that is a single bar in which price reacted rather strongly against a potential trend that had started a few days or perhaps even a couple of weeks before. And so that might be an example of fundamental interaction. Nevertheless, if we double that, we get to 154 days, or let's simply measure forward 77 days from that point, and that brings us towards the end of April. That would be a very long 20-week cycle trough, but certainly it is not impossible. Here is our nest of lows for the 20-week cycle trough, which you can see is spreading out towards the latter half of April. Here is our bar count from the 40-week cycle trough that formed in the third week of November, as it did in the S&P 500. That's sitting at 122 days as of today, and so the average length, as we've already spoken about, of 136 days for the 20-week cycle lies still about 2 weeks ahead of us. And so in the Australian market too, price is moving down into this 20-week cycle trough. Zooming in even further, notice the circle for the 40-day cycle, which is lying beneath this low price over here, making this a good candidate for the 40-day cycle. And if we measure forward the recent wavelength of the 40-day cycle, which is 31 days, up to 34 days, which is the average length of that 40-day cycle discovered by Hurst, you will see that we might have another week or two of downward price movement to bring us into this 20-week cycle trough. Again, we will be watching the 20-day cycle FLD for confirmation that the 20-week cycle trough has formed. Notice here the very clear interactions that we are seeing on this chart. An F category interaction as price crossed down below the FLD. And here is our G and H category interaction pair, a simple, very quick example of price finding resistance at the level of the FLD. We have not yet experienced a double GH category interaction, and so it is quite possible that we will see another example of the 20-day FLD providing resistance to price before the 20-week cycle trough forms, but a careful monitoring of interactions between price and the 20-day cycle FLD will provide us with a clear understanding of when that 20-week cycle trough has formed. Of course, if the 20-day FLD is too long an FLD for you, you would be looking at shorter time frame charts and shorter FLDs. Finally, a quick look at Bitcoin. We have the 18-month cycle trough that we've been discussing now for several market updates that potentially formed over here at the beginning of February. Bitcoin has been really struggling to bounce out of that 18-month cycle trough, as we have discussed in the previous market updates. We have a question mark around the position of this 20-day cycle trough, which in our previous market update we were considering as having occurred over here, but it is also possible that it could have occurred over there. Price has just come down over the weekend below the 20-day FLD again, and here is our nest of lows for that 40-day cycle trough. As you can see, this is really stretching the length of that 40-day cycle, reflecting again the fact that we are seeing more bearishness in Bitcoin than we should be if an 18-month cycle trough formed at the beginning of February. Bear in mind that under bearish market conditions, cycle troughs tend to occur later, and so measuring the cycle wavelengths by the distance between the troughs tends to provide us with expanded or stretched cycle wavelengths. And so at 44 days, if this is indeed the 40-day cycle trough that formed at 44 days, that is a fairly long 40-day cycle. The critical thing here is to see how price interacts with the 20-day FLD, which it is doing today, as you can see. Price has risen up in the early part of trading today, and I'm recording this video before the US markets open, and so it is still early in the trading day. Price has risen up to the 20-day FLD. So far it has found a bit of resistance there, but if it crosses strongly above it, then we will say with confidence that is our 40-day cycle trough, and we would expect some bullishness as price climbs out of that 40-day cycle trough. If, however, price finds resistance, then we need to consider the possibility again that the bears are continuing to control Bitcoin and that we're looking at further price moves down. If we measure some cycle wavelengths here, you will see that, interestingly, this possible 20-day cycle trough formed after 22 days. In other words, a stretched 20-day cycle. And of course, double 22 days is 44 days, or in fact, the potential trough that formed yesterday on Sunday, the 22nd of March. And so there is a clear rhythm that is revealing itself here. And it gives us some hope for the bull reviving itself in Bitcoin. Why do I say that? Because the first 20-day cycle that played out had a very bearishly shaped M shape, if that was the 20-day cycle trough that formed over there on the 28th of February. There is a rather bearish M shape for that first 20-day cycle. The next potential 20-day cycle is the one that elapsed into Sunday, into yesterday's trading, and that is, as you can see, a more bullish M shape. You can see that we have a higher second peak. Of course, we have a higher trough, and so that is a bullish shape for that 20-day cycle. And so it could be that the bull is beginning to revive in Bitcoin. We need to pay very close attention to how price interacts with this 20-day FLD here, in the hopes that we are going to see some more bullish price action in Bitcoin. I do hope that you found this market update useful and interesting. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below the video or join us on our Hurst Cycles Discord server. I look forward to hearing from you.